a marketing makeover for your online business. If you're doing internet marketing, you have a digital marketing business, you're selling digital products, courses online, selling digital marketing courses, this is a video for you because I'm going to give you 3 steps to a digital marketing business makeover. Right now, we're doing a marketing makeover right here, right now. Step one, look at your entry funnels into your business. The entry, because the number one most important part of your business is how people enter into there. Yes, your conversions are important. Yes, your follow-up, extremely important to convert those people that come into your funnel. But if nobody comes into what we call the front end of your business, if that part's anemic, even if you got great follow-up, even if you've got great conversions, your marketing machine, your sales machine is going to struggle. And so this is why the very first thing you want to do is look at your points of entry. And there's several things here. Number one, point of entry is it like what we call a grease chute? Is it a grease chute? Do they enter in? And is there a flow all the way through the conversion process, whatever kind of follow-up you have, whatever it is, the process is that gets them to buy? Is that smooth? Number 2 point here is, do you have multiple points of entry? You see, it's not enough to have one point of entry. You need to look at your points of entry and have multiple points of entry. And they all need to be grease chutes. Now, this is an easy thing to say. Implementing that, that can take weeks to implement it correctly. But one of the things that you can do to increase it's the simplest thing to increase your business, but it's just one of those things that we get sidetracked with all the other nitty-gritty of running a business. We forget about it, is you just add more points of entry. But it can be sometimes you have a point of entry that goes like this. Point of entry, boom. It just drops off. It just falls off, right? Because we get distracted. We got this pulling on our attention, that pulling on our attention. And so people enter in a point of entry, then boom, right? And so what you need is you need to look at your points of entry and see if they're a grease chute. And sometimes it helps to have an outside perspective on this. And I have a makeover marketing consultation in description box. There's more information about that if you want to look at it. Because sometimes it helps to have an outside perspective on your points of entry. So, number 1, you really got to nail down those points of entry, and they need to be attractive because, it needs to be something irresistible. Here's what happens is that over time, what was an attractive point of entry becomes commonplace. As you know, in business, man, everybody's a copycat today. And it's hard. You come out with something new, fresh, exciting, and innovation. 6 months later, it's probably not so fresh and exciting. So you've always got to go back and reevaluate your points of entry for attractiveness. Now, once you get your points of entry, once you've looked at those, once you've evaluated those, then the second thing is that immediate. We're going to look at the longer term follow-up, but the second thing is just that immediate experience. The immediate experience. When they do go through that point of entry, what's the experience like, right? And so that's the second thing you really got to take a look at. Again, sometimes it helps to have a marketing evaluation by somebody with fresh eyes who can help you do your marketing makeover because you probably don't see things like an outsider does, right? But anyway, the thing is that if you're doing a product launch, then that immediate thing is what we call your upsells or your one-time offers. It really depends on your business. You may offer people a free audit or a free evaluation, and that thing may have been a well-oiled machine when you first started it out and first started doing it, and then over time, things go down unless you keep putting the energy in there to keep it up, right? The attention to keep it up. And so whether you're doing upsells or whether you're doing an audit or you're doing some kind of an evaluation, whatever that initial experience is, you need to look at that initial experience. Just think of it like this. Have you ever gone in a restaurant and it's the evening and you're going to have a nice meal, or maybe it's lunch and you're expecting a nice meal, and they're in there and they're mopping the floor with an ammonia thing. And you're like, this happened to me. There's a Thai restaurant here locally, and I like Thai food, and I wanted some watercress soup and some nice Thai food. I go in there, they're freaking mopping the floor with ammonia, and I'm like, the last thing I wanted to do was eat. That was my point of entry experience, and it was my only point of it. You don't get a second chance sometimes, right? And so that point of entry experience is important. What is it? Because see, that's like your brand. You say, Marlon, what is the brand? The real brand is not your logo. Logos are important, but it's not your logo. It's not your color choices, although color choices are important. The real brand's the experience of your product, the experience of your service that customer or client or patron has. Okay, so you evaluate that initial point of entry experience, and then number 3 is you look at the follow-up, and are you losing your leads or your new potential buyers, your new potential patrons, your new potential prospects? Are you losing them? They come in, and is there a follow-up system in place? And again, it's one of these, depending on how long you've been in business, it's easy for that to get. I've had it happen in my business. I'm rebuilding my follow-up now because it gets out of sorts, right? Again, over time, it's all there, it's all in place, and you just kind of forget about it. You're on to other stuff. You have other pressing matters. Your CPA calls about this, and you got this is going on, and then you got to fix this, and you're doing a new thing, and you're doing a lot, and you just forget about it. It's been a year or two, you forgot about it. And all of a sudden, things aren't like they were. Your sales machine isn't humming like a well-oiled machine. Man, what is going on here? And you go back and you look at that follow-up and follow-up things that you had in place. Oh, that's a hassle. We won't do that. This is the biggest thing that happens, especially if you have employees. It's really bad. This is really just, they just complain about it incessantly. This is a hassle. This is a problem. I don't like doing this. Oh, this is such a problem. This is such a pain in the tail end. And finally, you just acquiesce. You give in. And you let important things in your follow-up or your point of entry or your initial experience fall down. And when they fall, you give in. Or you give in to that thing that it takes the upkeep, the maintenance, right? And if you let that drag you down, the whole thing, your sales machine starts falling apart. Oh, oiling it don't need oil. That's a pain in the tail end to go in there and oil it. We don't need to do preventive maintenance. That's, how much time that preventive maintenance takes, blah, blah, blah. Pretty soon your sales machine falls apart, right? So anyway, sometimes the attention to the basics is all it takes for a marketing makeover. You don't need that new, incredibly innovative thing. A lot of times, innovation's very important in business. You always have to be looking at innovating and staying current with the environment and the times. That's part of a marketing makeover. But the first step is just to see, did you let your sales machine, your marketing machine get in disrepair? Did you let it go downhill? And if you did, first you fix that before you look at the innovation. Because if you're trying to stack innovation on top of a broken sales machine, a broken marketing machine, oh man, it's a beatdown. You're not going to get where you want to go. So first you look at your sales machine, your marketing machine. And if you want an outside opinion, I do a 90-minute marketing makeover where I'll just give you a fresh perspective. I'll look at the whole little process with fresh eyes, and I'll give you some expert feedback on it. And if you're interested in that, it's in description. I also have a Saturday newsletter. Comes out PDF, comes out every week that you can subscribe to. It's one of the points of entry into my business. And I've subscribed to my channel and hit the little bell button if you want to get notified of other videos about marketing by me, because I do something most people don't do, which is I try to boil things down and keep them at the simple level, because that's actionable. When people get so freaking complicated and everything, it's not actionable. And money loves speed, and it's hard to be actionable when you make things so complex and complicated. And at heart, business is really simple. We get a patron, we get a customer, and we reload. They buy from us again and again. We develop those relationships, and that's what business is really all about. But it's so easy to lose focus on that. It's so easy to lose perspective on that because we get caught up in the whirlwind of our business. We just get caught up in the whirlwind, and it just sweeps us away. All right, this is Marlon Center. Some people call me the king of step-by-step internet marketing. I want to wish you the best of success.